What a wonderful evening we have tonight. The 100th anniversary celebration of the Joliet Chamber of Commerce. And Mary Jaworski, you've been working on this for so long, and all your staff, and Russ as the director. What do you say about what's happening tonight?
Well, this is the 6th event in 5 days, and our staff has been enormously busy, and I think what we tried to create tonight was something completely different. We wanted a gala that was totally surrounded with entertainment. So we have Charlie Chaplin and Marilyn Monroe and Joan Rivers, which was kind of like, oh no, when she passed away. And we have Frank Sinatra singing. We have an outdoor park built by the Fields on Caton that's so amazing for after dinner. There is a cigar bar and a Scotch and bourbon bar. And we also have a Hall of Fame with all the history of Joliet in pictorials.
You know, it was so much fun. Thank you for inviting me to be part of the committee to put this together. And I think it was really very interesting and cool and different that what's set up tonight is a little bit traditional and a little bit not traditional.
A little forward thinking.
A little forward thinking with the outdoor park and everything. And
yes,
we got to give a lot of credit to the Fields on Caton for everything they did for our park. And you'll be seeing some pictures of that in a little while. But kind of reminisce about where we are 100 years. That's just amazing. And the history of the Joliet Chamber and what you feel to be such a big part of it these last 10 years.
Last 10 years?
How many years?
22.
Last 22 years.
Yeah, I've been there a while. Almost a fourth.
What's that?
I'm always there a fourth.
Okay.
There wasn't a lot of history in the beginning. We did a lot of research, and we did find out how it started, and that was from the Rotary Club. But then there was a lot of dead years where we couldn't find much. And I know that the chamber had its up and downs. It struggled. It has, it had those moments. The last 20 years under Russ, we really grew, and we really kind of took off and kind of, I think, took it in a different direction. We have a lot of business programs. We have a lot of programs that really help people. We go to Washington. We do legislative work to help businesses with their causes, which I think is so important because, I mean, we do have the fun, which is tonight, but we also work very hard to help businesses with any cause they may have.
How many members do we have now, Mary?
Between 1,200 and 1,300.
I think, are we the third or fourth largest chamber in the state?
We are the fourth largest.
That's amazing. And, I was really happy about 4 years back, I was asked to be on the board with these wonderful people, and it's been a pleasure. It's first class. The Joliet Chamber of Commerce is one of the outstanding great things about Joliet. And Mary, thank you and your staff for everything that you do.
Oh, it's our pleasure, and we hope to be around for a while. I can't say 100 more years, but we hope to be around for a lot longer.
Next year, we're starting year one of the second 100.
Well, Don, starting January 1st, becomes our new chair of the board, and Don already told me he has lots of really creative and new ideas for us, so I'm looking forward to that.
Maybe we'll have some fun.
We'll have some fun, definitely.
Thanks, Mary.
You're welcome, Don.
With Senator Pat McGuire. Pat, what a great evening and what a tribute to the Chamber of Commerce of Joliet.
I'll say centennial year, 100 years.
100 years. I mean, all the history of Joliet. I know you love this town and you love the history of this city, but kind of reflect on a chamber and all the success they've had over the last 100 years.
Well, look at how the Chamber's brought people together for 100 years, right? Both established leaders and up-and-coming leaders. This is the place where people like that come together and work to improve our city, and it's paid off.
And the other day, there was a dedication of the Joliet Chamber building in downtown Joliet to the director for the last 20-plus years, and Russ Linkard, and I know you were there, and maybe reflect on that a little bit.
Russ Linkard, the pride of Cape Girardeau.
There you go.
Southeast Missouri's gift to northeastern Illinois.
And what an asset the Joliet Chamber has been, and being the fourth largest chamber in the state of Illinois, and how they've worked with local politicians like your stuff, state senators, state representatives, local mayors. They do a good job, don't they?
Yeah, we certainly can't solve all the state's problems or all the region's problems in Springfield. We shouldn't do that. We shouldn't try to. So organizations like the Chamber are really vital. I mean, this is the real strength of the state of Illinois.
Well, thank you again for coming and the tribute you did the other day for Russ Linkert and the dedication of the chamber building. And have a good time tonight, Pat.
Thank you very much.
I'm with former state senator A.J. Wilhelmy, and A.J., probably a great memory of yours as being one of the past presidents of the Joliet Chamber, and kind of reflect a little bit on the chamber and its 100th anniversary and your dedication to the chamber and being the president.
Sure. Well, it's a very exciting night for the Chamber to celebrate their 100-year anniversary. When you think about all the people that were involved in making the Chamber what it is today, obviously the first person that comes to mind is Russ Linkert. So it's a great night to celebrate 100 years of dedication of men and women in the Joliet community, dedicated to the business community, dedicated to making Joliet the best community possible. And I was very fortunate to have a small role in that back in 2003 as chairman, and years involved with Russ and Mary and the staff. They just do a tremendous job. So it's really an honor to be here tonight.
AJ, do you have any advice? I'm going to be the president of the chamber next year. I don't know how that happened. I don't know why Russ kind of handpicked me a little bit, but do you have any advice for me?
I'll tell you, you know what, just follow his lead. That's all I can say. But no, he's been a terrific friend and mentor to me personally and to so many people here in Joliet. And when you think about what's so important in our community is to make sure we have a thriving business community, and we certainly do in Joliet, thanks to Russ and so many leaders in our town.
AJ, what are you doing these days now? I know you have a different career path than a few years back, but what are you up to these days?
I'm working with the Illinois Hospital Association. I'm their Chief Government Relations Officer. And when you think about, obviously, what's important and what really comes to the surface in terms of quality of life, making sure we have access to quality health care is very, very close to the top. But they're also economic engines. So when you think about the Chamber of Commerce, very important members are Silver Cross Hospital and President St. Joseph Medical Center. So,
hey, I think I see. I think it's Joan Rivers.
I was smelling mothballs over here.
Yes.
How old is this suit?
This tux is my Grandpa Adler's. He wore this in the 1920s. So I'm actually wearing my Grandpa Adler's tuxedo that is at least 90 years old.
So business isn't.
That's fantastic, AJ. Do you believe we brought Joan Rivers back? I don't get it.
I will tell you, it is an honor to meet you posthumously.
Posthumously. I'm back. Yeah, I'm back. They threw me out.
I mean, the Joliet Chamber.
Swear words. I'm used to doing that. A few swear words.
Can I just say you look
no swear words.
You look fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Hey, the Joliet Chamber has a little clout when we can bring back Joan Rivers.
That's okay. That's power. These people are powerful, powerful people.
I'm a big fan, Joan.
Get a new suit, will you?
Well, thank you, AJ, for all your support of the Joliet Chamber and our community, and have a great time tonight.
Thanks, Don, very much. Thank you.
One of my good friends, Donnie Chestnut, past president of the Joliet Chamber, and Donnie, kind of reflect a little bit, 100 years. I know you've been on the chamber board for what, 5 years now, 6 years?
Probably longer than that, probably. I lost count when I joined. I started off as an ambassador, actually, and then new membership chairperson, and probably on the board and executive board for the last 5 to 6 years.
And Donnie, I've been on the board now for a few years, and this past year, Donnie was the president, I should say, of the chamber board, and she did a wonderful job. Kind of reflect a little bit on. I see it as kind of an honor, and all the good things the chamber does. Kind of reflect on that a little bit.
Well, with our Joliet Chamber being the 4th largest in the state of Illinois, we really try to represent all business owners within our market. And the staff at the chamber does such a wonderful job in getting the information out to business that are affecting the business. And we really try to create an environment where people can come together and network and really promote their business and be successful in our community.
Donnie, I know last year we both had the opportunity and I guess the privilege of representing the Joliet Chamber on the trip to Washington, D.C. I was very impressed. The meetings we had with our senators and our congressmen, the work that actually goes on behind the scenes. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
You know, that was my first time going out. We call it the DC Flyout, and I did participate in the Springfield Drive Down. But you know, the chamber does such a good job of coordinating all those things. So when we got there, everything was lined up for us to meet our representative in their environment where they're making decisions and representing us. So I was really honored, and it almost made me feel like a schoolgirl because it was just such a wide-eye experience to be a part of it.
You know, I too, I was like a little kid when Senator or Congressman Foster gave us a tour of the Capitol, and we did the behind-the-scenes area, and he showed us areas where the president walks out to do his inaugural speech over the large audience and the steps of the Capitol. It was quite a wonderful trip. Tell us a little bit now about, I know you're a big shot at a local bank in town. Tell us a little bit about your job.
Okay, I don't know if I'm a big shot, but I do work with First Midwest Bank. I'm a business development officer working in the Will County area. So, and of course, you know, with First Midwest Bank, we've been a pillar in our community. We continue to partnership with our Joliet Chamber to work together and meeting the needs of the business community. So.
Well, keep up the good work, and I've really enjoyed the last 5-6 years working with you on the Joliet Chamber, and enjoyed the evening.
Oh, thank you. And we really salute the Chamber and congratulate them on such a wonderful event. Not too many businesses can say they've been around for 100 years, so I'm really proud of them.
Thank you, Donnie. Look who I found, Chris Adler.
Hi, Don. How are you?
Doing well. Chris was a former president of the Chamber. And kind of reflect a little bit on when you were the president. How long ago was that, Chris?
It was 2007 was my term. Wonderful year. We started the education committee that year that has really grown and just done terrific things. It was just great memories, and I'm still involved. I still enjoy it to this day.
Also, tell our audience what the Chamber does for a business like Adler Roofing and the other businesses. I think we have over 1,000 members, what the Chamber actually does and the great support they give for businesses like Adler Roofing.
Well, you know, it starts at the top with Russ Slinkert, of course, and Mary, Trish, Lise, the whole staff, Kelly now. They're there, everything you need. The government side, locally, just keep us members informed what's going on down in Springfield. Just every step of the way in business, they're helping us along the way.
I'm sure you had a little fun being a member of the Chamber for the years and being on the board for so many years. Kind of reflect on any unusually fun times you had that you can recall?
Every other year we did our member dash. Late in the fall, we brought in gentlemen, always made it fun, interesting, costumes. I forget his name, I should know, I'm just getting old, but had a great time whenever our member drives. And we did very successful, bringing 100, 200 members every other year. It was a lot of fun, and we made it a fun time for all the people that assisted us.
And Chris, I think you told me a little earlier your dad's here tonight. When did your dad start? Did your dad start the company, or was it, how did Adler Roofing start?
1926, his father, my grandfather, started the business, and he died young, so my father ran it for years. And now then my two siblings and myself got involved in the 1980s, and we now have a fourth generation, a nephew and two of my sons. So it's our fourth generation moving, and once again, we thank everybody in Joliet has been so good to our family and our business. They're the ones that keep us here in Joliet.
You know, that's what's great about this town. We are a city. We have 4 generations of business owners in a town like this. You can't say that from a average suburb. So, I mean, it's a unique town with unique businesses, and congratulations on your business and you being the chair, and I think we're going to have a little bit of fun tonight. What do you think?
It's going to be a great night. We're going to get outside for a little cocktail in the park. It's going to be fun. And thanks to everybody who's helped the Chamber, and Channel 6 and Dick, we appreciate your help. So have a great evening.
Thank you, Chris. I have the pleasure of interviewing Larry Walsh Jr., our state representative for the city of Joliet. And Larry, reflect a little bit, 100 years in being in a business, and a business like helping businesses like the Joliet Chamber. What's your reflection on tonight?
Well, it's a great occasion tonight. You know, 100 years is, well, it's a century, and let's see, we've had a lot of things happen in that time, a lot of changes throughout the Joliet area. The Cubs still haven't won a World Series, and you know, but it's good. We're out.
Rub it in.
Well, I'm a Sox fan, so.
I know.
But no, we're out here celebrating. The Chamber is one of the most effective in the state of Illinois. We're the fourth largest chamber in the state here in Joliet, and you know, it's really good to see it, just grow over the last 100 years, but then to be in the position they are today to help businesses out, to bring businesses in and help retain businesses that we have. It's a great thing.
Larry, how would you say, as a state representative, the chamber helps you and your business dealings and how you represent this community in Springfield?
Well, you know, everything that we do in Springfield has some kind of reflection back at home, and that's what we're down there to do, is represent our districts. And when we have issues that are close to home that affect businesses, I'm not afraid to pick up the phone and call Russ or call Mary or call Jeff and see, you know, how this would affect them. That way I have a better understanding of what my votes mean. And they're very good to work with. I've enjoyed working with them over the last 2.5 years and look forward to continuing.
It was a great day. I was talking to Senator Pat McGuire about the dedication of the downtown Joliet Chamber building to Russ Linkert. You were gracious enough to have a proclamation from the state of Illinois and kind of reflect on that a little bit also.
Well, yeah, again, you know, we're here this whole week celebrating 100 years for the chamber, and it was the least we could do. It's been a very important part into the city of Joliet and Will County as a whole, and for us to just show a little bit of appreciation and gratitude and sharing them an accomplishment of reaching 100 years, it was my pleasure to be part of it.
And you know what, when I reflect back when I was planning director of the city of Joliet for quite a few years, the chamber was always a working partner. They were right there, hand in hand, trying to help us figure out and solve problems and make Joliet a better community.
And that's a good thing. That's what I really like about the Joliet Chamber is we as government officials, the business community, and even labor, we come to the table, we all work together to bring out a better Joliet and build a better community. And you know, that's what we're here to do. That's why we're servants of the public, and I really enjoy working with them, and bringing all those aspects together is just beneficial for everybody.
Well, Larry, I'm going to break the news to you. 2 years, the Cubs are winning the World Series.
All right, well, I hope to see, well, let's see what happens.
Thanks a lot, Larry. Well, I have Deb Daniels, the president of Joliet Junior College. Deb, how long have you been in town now? Several years?
2.5 to be exact.
2.5. And where were you? Where was your last college you were at? I believe it was in California.
Yes, I was president at San Bernardino Valley College in San Bernardino.
Well, I know over the last several years there's been great expansion at Joliet Junior College, and dear to my heart is your downtown campus and the great facility that you'll be putting in downtown that's already up, and maybe give us a little bit more information about it and the timing on what's going to be happening.
Well, as you said, the outside is complete, and we're in the process of finishing the design on the inside, and we're going to go forward with the build out, and it should be open in the fall of 2017.
And Deb, how many students do you think will be in downtown Joliet when everything is, after a couple of years of operation of the building?
Well, that's a really good question. Our projection is about 4,000.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing. That's awesome. And reflect a little bit, I'm asking everybody tonight to reflect a little bit about an organization that's been around 100 years, a chamber that I know you hold dear to your heart, and I know most everybody here does, obviously, but reflect a little bit about 100 years on the Joliet Chamber of Commerce.
Well, as a fairly new person to the Joliet area, one of the first people that reached out to me, first organization when I came to town, was the Chamber of Commerce. And I have to say that from that day forward, they've been nothing but progressive and wonderful business partners. And it's true, I've lived all over the United States, and it's the far and above all the other chambers that I've been involved in. they keep the businesses involved, and they keep us moving along. And so I'm very proud to be a part of the chamber and be involved.
You know, we're happy you're here too, that you moved from sunny California, but you're a wonderful addition to our community, and we look forward to many more years and the opening of the downtown campus.
Oh, me too. I'm very much looking forward to the downtown campus opening, as well as our other new buildings that we're planning at the main campus and the expansion in Romeoville.
Well, Deb, thank you so much for coming, and I think we'll have a good time tonight. What do you think?
I think that's a good possibility.
What a pleasure. Larry Walsh, County Executive for Will County, good friend, great friend of so many people in our community. What do you think about tonight? 100 years of the Joliet Chamber.
Unbelievable. And what a great gala we're going to have. Russ and Mary and Kelly and Trish and all of them, Mike Peon, everybody, you know, Janet Contos, while she was there, did an extraordinary job, you know, and has really brought the Joliet Chamber up to the 4th largest chamber in the state of Illinois, and how coincident, what a coincidence that, you know, we're the 4th most populated county in the state of Illinois, so we should have the 4th largest chamber. But I mean, everybody's done such a great job of promoting the chamber and what it does. And when you go out there on membership drives, it's easy to get them to come on board.
Not alone the 4th largest, I think the best chamber in the state of Illinois.
I agree with you 100%. I haven't found one better. When I have to say this, as county executive, I belong to a lot of different chambers throughout our county, and they all have their specialties.
Well, let's just say the big city it's about.
Yeah, okay, we'll say that. Yeah, don't get me in trouble here now.
I won't get you in trouble, Larry. You know, last year we had the opportunity, I did, to go with the chamber to Washington, D.C.
Yeah,
you were on the trip, Mayor Girani was on the trip,
yep.
Russ and Mary, and it really was a wonderful, wonderful experience. And I was so impressed on, you know, people think, well, they're going to Washington, D.C., what are they doing?
Yeah.
We actually had wonderful, intense meetings with our U.S. representatives and legislators. Kind of reflect on that, because I was very impressed.
Well, you know, we've been doing this, and fortunately, and for me, I've been going out there when we go out there with our lobbyists for county government. I've been fortunate to go out there with CED, and then the chamber also. Every other year we try to get out there, and we make these relationships with our congressional people, our 2 U.S. senators. They know where Joliet is at. They know that they're welcomed here. And then when we come out there, they don't just give us a member of their staff to come and see us and talk to us. They personally show up and sit with us. And when you can get a Senator Dick Durbin to sit with you for 45 minutes to an hour, Senator Mark Kirk, you know, he was very, very good with us for 45 minutes. And, you know, everybody talked about having Will County divided up into 6 congressional districts. Yes, it's difficult, but what that does for you, though, you've got 6 congressional legislators out there out of 18. That's 1/3 of all the legislators that represent the state of Illinois represents Will County. So, a great opportunity.
It was a wonderful trip, and I honestly was truly impressed with the meetings we did have, and I think the outcomes. I mean, we had a big outcome on the Ileana Expressway from those meetings. I remember you and Mayor Girani, how you were not working our representatives, but really explaining to them why the Ileana Expressway is so important for Joliet and Will County.
Exactly right. If we're going to continue to see the growth that we have seen so far, and the investment, people, corporate America coming here and wanting to invest in Will County, Joliet area, I mean, it's huge. and if we don't plan for the future, then we're always going to sit in gridlock. And that's the surest way of somebody that wants to do business turns their back and goes someplace else if they can't get in and get out of their place of business. So, you know, but the other thing is, every time we go out there, whether it's John Grueling and CED, whether it's the Will County and the Chamber, we always go out there prepared. We have a plan, we have a booklet for them to see, and they can thumb through that in 5-10 minutes and see exactly what issues we're talking about.
Well, thank you, Larry, for everything you do, and I know you want to wish the Chamber another great 100 years.
I won't see it, but I hope they're here in 100 years.
Well, I'm going to be...
Maybe some of my grandkids will be part of it.
I don't know how it happened. I'm going to be the president next year, so I hope you stay on the board.
Well, I don't know when my term is up. Maybe I'll ask for an extension.
No, I think
Is there term limits here?
No, I think you're on, buddy. Thank you very much, Larry.
Thank you, Don.
Here's the big shooter right here. That's from ExxonMobil. Trish, it's been on the Chamber of Commerce for how many years now?
I think 6 at least.
6 or 8 years. And Trish, tell us a little bit about yourself, your role with ExxonMobil and tonight's event, and kind of reflect on the Chamber of Commerce.
So ExxonMobil has been a member of the Chamber since the refinery was built in 1972. And we've had people, I believe, on the Chamber board nearly without cease since then. But for a company like ExxonMobil, it's critically important to be involved in the Chamber of Commerce. It's really the best way for us to integrate with the business community and local businesses and business leaders, and particularly the Joliet Chamber of Commerce and Industry. I've lived in several places around the country, and this chamber is probably the most well-supported of any I've ever been involved with. So businesses of all size, the members are committed, the board members are very committed, and it's an honor actually for us to be able to sponsor this event tonight.
Well, I know, Trish, you and Exxon have been very, very involved with our local community with local education.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about some of the initiatives that you have done through the chamber, and your corporation has been fully behind.
So ExxonMobil, as many of you probably know, one of our highest initiatives in the community is support of education, and particularly science and math. The Joliet Chamber, when a couple of years after I got involved with the board, and I was also a member of the Education Committee, there was a general feeling that we were ready to take on a new initiative. And the initiative that they allowed us to introduce was frankly an idea that I stole from the Baytown Chamber of Commerce, where we also have a large manufacturing presence. And the concept was a business education partnership, and in Baytown it was a Baytown Partners in Education. And so we carefully stole that idea and gave them full credit, but formed our own Partners in Education. And I'm happy to say that that's well into its 5th healthy year. This is our 5th school year, and we have a growing membership. We do not overburden our members with meetings, but we get together twice a year, the business and education partners, talk about what we're doing, and every meeting results in a new idea, a new initiative, and it just gets stronger and stronger every year. But the Chamber Education Committee particularly, we know it's very strong. It's also been recognized at the state level for what it does for education, and it's a very pragmatic, substantive, relationship-based organization.
Well, you know, your comment about you've been in many other communities and how strong and how supportive this local chamber and Joliet Chamber is. I think it says it all. And you know, I've been here all my life, so I haven't seen other communities, but that comment is very, very impressive.
I think the fact that it's celebrating its 100th anniversary is really all that you need to know. It's been resilient. It's met the needs of the business members for many, many, many years, and Joliet has certainly seen its share of evolution and renaissance, and the Chamber has been right there with it. So 100 years later, that's very, very impressive.
Well, Trish, thank you to you and ExxonMobil, and keep up the great work.
Thank you, Don.
I have Jeff Thompson. He's the current president of the Joliet Chamber, and what an evening, and what a great tribute to 100 years of the Joliet Chamber.
And I can't think of a better place to do this. Here, I'll take that, Don. I can't think of a better place to do this than the Rialto tonight for our gala event. You know, we've had quite a week, as you know, dedicating the building on Tuesday. and having the Athena Award ceremony on Wednesday. Cheryl McCarthy, that was awesome. And then Thursday, we had a phenomenal party over at the Jacob Henry. And then, we had, Friday we had the President's Breakfast over at Harrah's. And to culminate now tonight with this event, this place is just gorgeous. So we're excited. It's been quite 100 years, and Don and I are looking forward to the next 100 years.
There you go. And Jeff, as a business leader in our community, what does the Chamber mean to your business and to the other businesses in our community?
You know, Don, honestly, the Chamber is very meaningful to me, being a business owner, because, you know, we have over 1,100 members, and our politicians pay attention to that, the fact that we have over 1,100 members, which probably represents, with employees, probably somewhere around 25,000 people. And we do have a voice as a small business and large business through the Chamber.
Tell us a little bit about your business, Jeff.
Northern Insurance was established 10 years ago in Joliet. We're out on Hobolt Road across from the airport. We do all kinds of insurance. We started with one employee. I hired her 2 months before we started, and we're up to almost 70 employees now. We've got 6 locations. We're in Joliet, Morris, Ottawa, New Lenox, small office in Plainfield. So this community has actually been very, very good to us. Will County has been a great community to do business in, Don.
You know, Jeff, the other day, the downtown Joliet Chamber office was dedicated to, named after Russ Linkard. I know you were the master of ceremonies, and I know Russ has been very good and very important to all of us. And kind of reflect on that day and what happened in naming the downtown facility for Russ.
Well, first of all, I really don't think Russ had any idea that we were dedicating the building that day to him until he came outside and looked across the street and saw his relatives that had come up from Missouri. I think that's when he started to figure out something special was going on. I don't know how we kept it from him, but somehow we did. But, you know, Russ was instrumental in buying that building in 1999, instrumental in making sure all the payments were made to the bank and getting the loan paid off. And, you know, we had that mortgage burning party in 2012. So, you know, he's such a key piece of this chamber. And, you know, he's a mentor for me. He's really one of the best speakers I think I've ever heard. I think he was a preacher at one time. That's what I hear. He's had an interesting career. He's been in, worked for a Fortune 500 company. I mean, he really has put together a great staff at the Chamber. And I know next year when you're president, you will really appreciate that like I have this year.
Well, Jeff, I look forward to being president. I know I'm going to need some advice from you, and truthfully, I'm really surprised I was asked. But anyway, I look forward to working with you and the rest of the Chamber board. And what a great job you've done this year.
Yeah, it's been a fun year, Don, and you're going to have a great year next year.
Well, thank you, Jeff. Jeff Thompson from Northern Illinois Insurance. At the Honorable Mayor Tom Girani, the Mayor of the City of Joliet. Tom, what a great night tonight. 100 years Joliet Chamber. Kind of reflect a little bit of how they've helped you and how they've helped the city, and particularly Russ Linkard and his staff.
They've really worked well with the city. I know, backing us on different projects, and they really deserve this. 100 years, and I was out on Van Buren Street, and what they did out there is absolutely gorgeous. And I'm hearing that it was kind of your idea. Is that true?
Yeah, I had a little bit to do with that, Mayor. And you know, I like the landscaping and making things look good.
Right.
But I know, you know, when I was the planning director, how supportive the chamber was. And I talked to Larry Walsh a little bit about the times that we went out to. I had the opportunity to go with you to Washington D.C. with the chamber.
Yes.
And how important that was in the meetings we had with our senators and our congressmen, and the effect it had, and how important those meetings were.
There's no question, you know, Joliet is the 4th largest city in the state, and you have to have that rapport with those people in Washington and Springfield for when you need them for something, for their support. and they've really been there for us. And like I said, when we went in to see some of those congressmen and senators, they had notes. They knew what we were talking about. So we just keep them abreast of what's happening here in Joliet.
I've never experienced something like that. I was truly impressed by how the respect that the senators gave to you and Larry Walsh, and how wonderful it was, the rapport that you had with our U.S. representatives.
Yes, and it's both ways. I mean, we respect them. Whenever I make a phone call to whoever, if I don't talk to them, they answer back. And you've got to work together like this. This idea of bashing heads don't get it. And I don't care if they're Democrat or Republican. You've got to sit down and talk to them, and they've got to hear your side of the story and what's going on.
I was impressed the other day when the downtown chamber office was named after Russ Slinkard. Mayor, you were there. It was a wonderful occasion. Kind of reflect a little bit about what that means to our community.
Absolutely, and what a great job Russ has done. He's having a little problems now, but what a great job he's done over the years. I mean, it just goes on and on and on, and what he's done for this, not only Joliet, but for Will County.
Well, Mayor, thank you for what you do for our community, and keep up the good work, and we look forward to another 100 years of the Chamber.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you, Don.
I'm with Jennifer Bertino-Tarrant, our senator that represents the Joliet area on the west side of Joliet. And Jennifer, I know the Chamber of Commerce has meant a lot to you, and you were at the dedication of the building in downtown Joliet for Russ Slinkard. Tell me a little bit about your thoughts about that.
Well, I think it's absolutely well-deserved. Russ has been a wonderful asset to the Joliet community, and me involved in the schools, he has always been there as a great support system for the education system and the business world. So he has double place in my heart. So.
And I know a Chamber of Commerce represents businesses large and small. I know your family. They're business people.
Yeah.
And I think most people know a little bit about it, but if those that don't, tell me a little bit about your history and your background, your family business.
All right. My father's owned and operated a service station for 60 years here in the Joliet area. We've been very fortunate to have two of the same employees, Glenn Markham and Wayne Juristics, for about 30 of those years. I met him when I was about 8 years old. And, so obviously the Joliet community is very, very important to me. Our small businesses are a hub of our community, and this is what, I went to school here. That little business helped me go to college, and so I'm very grateful to the Joliet community.
And Bertino's on Plainfield Road, right? What's the address?
Yeah, Bertino's service station, 900 Plainfield Road. Still there.
That's great. And I know the Chamber works so well with our state senators and state reps and our local mayors. Give me a little story, or give me something that how they have impacted you and the relationship you have with the Joliet Chamber, Russ, Mary, and the staff.
Well, they're a great tool. They're a great resource. Having that relationship with them. We have a lot of issues that affect our communities, and they've always been very good and very honest to tell me, how this will impact our businesses. Not only, do we work with them here, they come to Springfield, and they always have a dynamic crew with them, and it's always just good to get their feedback. And they're real leaders, not only to Joliet, but to their surrounding areas.
And Jennifer, you've been a state senator now for 2 years.
2 years, yeah.
How's it been? What's it like to be is it a junior senator? Are you called a junior?
No, I don't know. I still consider myself a freshman, but they tell me I'm not anymore.
You're a
freshman.
Still
a freshman.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
What's it like?
I always say it's both fascinating and frustrating. I would never change this experience. It's humbling to represent the people in the 49th district, but a lot of the people's concerns are my concerns, and to get things done in Springfield, you have to have patience, and you have to keep working at it, because things will eventually change. You just have to be diligent enough to stick with your guns and know what to do, and know that you're doing the right things for your community.
Well, Jennifer, what I've always liked about you is you have a good common sense attitude, which is very refreshing.
Thank you.
And you don't seem like a real politician, which
good.
is a compliment.
Thank you.
And just kind of sum up your feelings about 100 years of the Joliet Chamber and what it means to you and our community.
Yeah. It's wonderful. To think 100 years to be able to promote businesses in this community is just fascinating. You know, I represent the 49th. It just has the west part of Joliet, but I'm a Joliet girl, and Joliet will always be in my heart.
Well, Jennifer, thank you so much, and congratulations to you being our senator, and keep up the good work.
Thank you, Don. Thank you.
Well, I have the man right here, Mr. Russ Slinkard. 20 years, 22 years as the Chamber Chief Executive, and what a wonderful job, Russ, you have done, and kind of reflect a little bit about on these last years and what it's meant to you, and I know what it's meant to our community.
Well, Don, it's just been a great pleasure to work for the Chamber, and it's because of people like you who are on our board of directors. We've always been very fortunate to have an outstanding board of directors. They don't tie our hands as a staff, but they do give us guidance, and we appreciate both. Last few years, you know, there were some tough years there, starting in 2008 with the economic downturn. But somehow we managed and survived, and now we're back on the go of full growth again, gaining membership, and revenues are strong, and trying to do all that we can to serve the business community and the community at large.
Well, Russ, I know it's a tribute to you and your staff. Over 1,000 members, 1,100, 1,200 members in the Joliet Chamber, fourth largest in the state. And, you know, I'm going to kind of reminisce about some of the things that you've done for me and some of the impressions that you've given to me. When I was a planning director and short time I was on the city council, there were times that you came to the city council and addressed the city council in such a respectful, professional way, and the whole tone of it was about the best interests of Joliet. And it was like what we needed at the time, and it was like almost like a father telling you what the right thing to do is.
Well, I'm kidded about that a lot. You know, I started out as a Methodist minister, and Mary kids me all the time that really hasn't left you. You know, you still are basically doing what you would be doing there, trying to help people and give sound advice whenever asked. You know, I always enjoyed addressing the council. They're always very attentive. We've never gotten into any differences at all. And working with the mayors that I've worked with and the various council members, it's been a real pleasure. That's the good thing about this community. Everybody wants to work together. I think the city wants to work with us, with the county wants to work with us, and that's what makes life good in Joliet.
You know, when you said everybody working together, I think that's the key. And I think a reflection of that was this past week in our Centennial Celebration Week when the Joliet Chamber building in downtown Joliet was named in your honor. And it was quite a tribute to see all the recognition that you received that day. And to me, it was well done and well deserved.
Don, I was absolutely stunned. I was told they started working on this in April, and I would never have believed that word wouldn't have gotten back to me in 5 or 6 months, but it did. But what an honor to be recognized in such a way, knowing that that's going to be there years and years and years. A real blessing.
Well, one last thing that I just want to say is I was honored and somewhat surprised when you had asked me to be on the board, and then when you asked me to be part of the executive committee, and next year being the president of the chamber. And I want to thank you for that opportunity and the privilege that you gave me.
Well, I won't lie to you, Don. You're one I wanted from the beginning, as soon as you came off the city council. And it's just been a pleasure working with you. I really look forward to next year when you're our president and we can work together even closer than we have.
Well, enjoy the evening, Russ, and thank you for everything you've done.
Thank you so much, Don. Have a good time yourself this evening.
To business. And so we dedicated that building. It's the Russ Slinkard building. Russ was shocked. He came out of the office, and a bunch of his family members had come up from Missouri. And, it was a very moving dedication. So we owe an awful lot to Russ and to the staff for putting this together. Wednesday was followed up by our Athena Award that went to Dr. Cheryl McCarthy, who's our superintendent of Joliet High School 204. Cheryl gave just an incredible talk to those that were in attendance at the Jacob Henry Mansion on Wednesday. So that was quite an event. And then we moved over on Thursday. We had a celebration Thursday night, and I think we had about 130 people there. That was put on by the young professional group with the Chamber. Wednesday, the Athena Award was the Council for Working Women, which is a very kind of an exciting group right now, along with the young professionals. And they kind of sponsored Thursday night's event. We had Joliet Junior College bake 10 different cakes. And the culinary arts has supported us quite a bit. They were in our New Orleans North. For anyone that was at New Orleans North, we had that second Friday night in June this last year. And we started that 3 years ago, you guys, because we really wanted to raise some money and have some fun doing it. And so that's kind of what we're doing tonight. We're not raising money tonight, but we do have three main sponsors tonight. They were ExxonMobil, has helped us out, you guys, and everything we've done this year, Harris Bay. And Lewis University is a part of this tonight, too. So we'd like to thank all our sponsors. We have a lot of sponsors. We have signs all around. If you would, check that out. I'm not going to go through all that right now. What I am going to do is I'm going to bring Brother James Gaffney from Lewis University up here. Brother James is going to do the invocation tonight. So, Brother James, thank you.
Please excuse my cold tonight, but I think the Lord will accept it. So let us bow our heads in prayer. Gracious and caring God, we celebrate this evening a remarkable organization. Indeed, a remarkable group of men and women. Throughout the last 100 hours, we've reflected upon the abundance of accomplishments by our Joliet Region Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Founded and given initial momentum by members of the fledgling Rotary Club of Joliet. And so tonight we look back with deep appreciation at the various ways in which this chamber has led, advocated, and united diverse groups and organizations to advance the interests of business, professional, and service entities throughout this Joliet region. In so doing, this entire community has benefited, and a higher quality of life has been enjoyed by tens of thousands of regional citizens. Accordingly, we rejoice and give thanks for current and past leadership and board members of this chamber, for Russ Slinkard and Mary Jaworski and their very dedicated and capable colleagues, and for the very positive vision, hopeful spirit, and bonds of unity which the Chamber so consistently contributes to our community, to business and industry, and to all women and men of goodwill who care deeply about our local society and its steady advancement. Bless us all, bless us in the meal we share tonight, bless us in this remarkable celebration of achievement and promise, and bless us in all we do to lessen the burdens of the poor, the needy, and all those who struggle. Amen.
James. We're going to have a toast tonight. Terry Darcy's going to help us with that. And as Terry's coming up here, I want to finish the week. We had Friday, we had a president's breakfast, you guys. We had past presidents. I think we had 24 past presidents at Harrah's for a breakfast Friday morning. And so most of those 24 are here tonight, and they have a medal. So if you see someone with a medal, they're wearing a medal, you know what that is. That's a past president. And then one last thing I would like to mention. We have Don Fisher and his group, along with the Fields. They donated an awful lot of labor to bring in trees and bushes. And I don't know if you're aware of this, but if you go down this aisle and take a right, after dinner, there is a garden that you can walk out. There is a whiskey bar and cigars, compliments of the chamber. And Don Fisher put that together along with the Fields, and we'd like to thank the Fields one more time. Thanks, Don, for putting that together. And with that, Terry Darcy is going to help us with our toast tonight.
Good evening. I always heard there's two people you don't want to follow the flag, Brother James and Larry Walsh. I too would like to offer many thanks to Russ Linker, Mary Jaworski, the entire staff of the Chamber, and their families who are all here today. I saw a lot of them here today. Jeff Thompson, the board of the Chamber, for hosting this wonderful evening tonight. I heard a story that God created the world, and he made the French first for their fashion, and he made the Italians for their design, and he made the Germans for their engineering. But nobody was having fun, so God made the Irish. A noted minister from New York named Ralph Sockman, who preached in the mid-1960s, said that what makes greatness is starting something that lives after you. With that said, we toast the past 100 years of our chamber for being such an important part of the cloth that makes up this great community. And just as important is that we toast the start of the next 100 years. It has been said that our interest really lies in the future because we're all going to live there the rest of our lives. So I now propose a toast to the past 100 years of the Joliet Region Chamber of Commerce and the next 100 years. Cheers.
Did everyone enjoy your dinner tonight? We'd like to thank the Cutting Edge Catering Company. Cutting Edge, Michelle. I don't know if Michelle is still out here. Maybe a round of applause for Cutting Edge. You know, you guys, it's a challenge serving about 350 people here at the Rialto because there really isn't a kitchen. So we'd like to again thank the Cutting Edge for being such a tremendous caterer for this event. We've got a couple of things real quick here before I bring on Don Fisher. I'd just like to remind you guys again about this hall behind me. There is we call it the Hallway of Fame, and there's a lot of historic pictures from Joliet over the last 100 years. I think we went over to Polly's garage and picked up a few of those, and so there's a lot of history. If you take a stroll down this hallway here, and then if you take a right, I will lead you right into the garden that we put together with the fields. And I'm going to bring Don Fisher. He's going to tell you a little more about that. But before I do that, I would just like you again to just make sure you check out your program tonight because we have our sponsors in there, you guys. And you know how that works. We can't do anything without our sponsors. And we have such a tremendous following here with the Chamber. And these sponsors have been so kind for this event that we were able to keep all the events earlier this week, the cost down. So with that, I'm going to bring Don Fisher up. Don Fisher is the president-elect of the board. So Don will be in charge next year. So if I can, have a little round of applause for Don. He's going to tell you a little bit about the fields.
Thank you, Jeff. Who in the right mind would have Don Fisher as the president of the Chamber of Commerce? I guess Russ was impressed. I don't know. But anyway, I think everyone's having a great time tonight, and thank you to Russ, Mary, and all the staff for a wonderful, wonderful evening. And a part of our putting together this extravaganza, if you want to call it, was doing something different tonight. And as you will see, or if you haven't seen already, we developed a park on Van Buren Street. Right across the street, or right in front of what was the first Chamber of Commerce building in the city of Joliet, just to the east of the Harris Bank building. And I want to introduce the guy that put it together, Brian Newman. And I want you guys to give Brian Newman from the Fields, the owner of the Fields, a big round of applause. Brian and his landscape architects developed the plan for Van Buren Street. And later this evening when we go out there, we'll be filming this too for our audience on TV. It's just wonderful. I wish it was my backyard. And Brian said I won't talk, but just come closer. There you go. Come closer. Just wish the Chamber a happy 100th birthday.
Yeah, happy 100th birthday.
Thank you, Brian, very much. And thank you to the Chamber. I'm with Cheryl McCarthy, the superintendent for Joliet Township High Schools. And Cheryl, I guess you won a little bit, an award this past week. Could you tell us a little bit about it? I know you're very humble and shy about these things, but the Chamber thought so much of you, and let us know what it's all about.
Well, it's really, really an honor, Don. You know that. The Athena Award is very, very special. It's given to women who have contributed to their profession and to the community. And the long list of women winners are it's just phenomenal. And to be part of that and be with those women just is a pretty special thing. And it was really nice on Wednesday to have my family, my friends, my colleagues, and my community members that I'm with there for me, and everyone was so supportive. It was very nice.
Well, Cheryl, I was very privileged to be on the Joliet Township High School board when you were hired to be our superintendent.
And I'm privileged to have you on the board.
And I kind of said I'm not on there anymore, but
well, and as a parent,
yes.
You and Kathy, when I first met you and Kathy as parents at Joliet West on my parent club, I was appreciative of everything you guys have done for our district.
Well, thank you, Cheryl. But you've done amazing things at JT, and the innovation that's going on at Joliet Township High School is amazing. And I hope people in our community appreciate the hard work the administrators, the staff, the teachers, and everybody associated with Joliet Township High School, the board, what they do for JT. And tell us a little bit, some of the new things that are happening this year and some of your future plans.
Well, one of the things this year is we have just completed our last phase of one-to-one technology. So we have a little bit over 6,000 students in our district, and we've provided every single student with a netbook computer. And that computer is used in all of their classes, and it's not like a pencil. It is really changing the way that they learn, and the kids create, and it's phenomenal. I think back to when I first started teaching, things are certainly different. And then the latest thing that I'm very proud of is our partnership with Chicagoland Speedway. So we have a project this year where our culinary students will be developing a signature sandwich. And we will have, sometime in March, a public display, and people will vote. And whatever sandwich wins, the Chicagoland Speedway will feature on its menu next year for race season.
That's amazing. And congratulations to you, Cheryl, on the Athena Award. Well deserved, and keep up the good work. Your board of directors, your administration, your teachers, the staff. It's amazing. And this is kind of weird, but I saw you have new buses.
We do. We lease our buses, and they're a little bit space looking, aren't they? They have a little bit of a retro look to them, or a future look, maybe.
Yeah. Well, I was going down the street and I saw, hey, that's a cool looking bus, and it said Joliet Township High School on the side, and there it is.
Yeah, no, that's really neat, and happy anniversary to the Chamber, 100 years, and really we are so fortunate in this community to have the Chamber that we do, especially at the school level, the partnerships at the schools. The businesses do so much for us, and we're very grateful for that.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm with Mr. Terry Darcy, one of the sponsors of tonight's 100th anniversary of the Joliet Chamber of Commerce. And Terry, what are your thoughts tonight? And I know you've been involved with the Chamber for many, many, many years, and just a few thoughts.
Well, I've been a Chamber member and in business in Joliet for 23 years, and this is just a really great night to celebrate their 100th anniversary in this community. And they're really such a strong part of this community. I can't tell you how many referendums they've worked on and just all the things they do for the community. And I'm just fortunate to be a part of this group.
Well, Terry, I know the Chamber is so happy to have you as such a strong member and a very, very good supporter. Everything you do for our community in the Chamber is so, so important. And I'm sure Russ and Mary and the staff are very important to you, and different issues that come up, or just an everyday business kind of a conversation.
That's so true. Russ has been with the Chamber 18 years, and before that he was with AT&T or whatever they called themselves, I don't remember, but he's just like a mentor to many of us. He's the kind of guy that when I need a little wisdom and advice, I can go to Russ Slinkard and lay this situation out, and he'll always have a very, very strong opinion with a great decision, and he's helped me many times in decisions I've had to make.
Well, as a great business person yourself, and starting kind of from tell us a little bit. I mean, everybody knows Darcy Motors now, but what was it like starting out, building your company? I mean, there's a lot of small business people here tonight in the crowd, and you know, what kind of words of encouragement can you give them on what it takes to get to where you are today?
Well, I always say you're better off being lucky than good, but I think hard work and perseverance are the two things that really go hand in hand. And don't ever give up. If you have a good vision and if you're doing the right thing, don't stop. Just keep going, and it will come to you. Don't worry about the money and all the other stuff. If you enjoy what you do, if there's a passion in it, and you're doing the right thing, stay focused on it, and it'll all come to you at some point, which is the way I feel about my business. We struggled the first 2 or 3 years. I could have made more money when I opened up working across the street at the counter at McDonald's than I made my own business, but I knew someday that it would continue to grow, the community's vibrant, and we were able to grow the business that way. And started out in 1991 on 3 acres with 26 employees, and now we have 180 employees and probably about 25 acres of blacktop in town. So we've grown, and it's been a lot of fun. Never worried about the money. I don't worry about failing. Just do the right thing and have fun with it.
You know, one of the things that I admire about you, Terry, is how you and your company give back to our community. What does that mean to you personally? And I know what it means to our community on how many different issues and charities and causes that you're involved with, but what's that come from? Because every business doesn't do that. I mean, I just want to give you some credit. What brought you to be that kind of a person and kind of a business?
Well, when I started my business in Joliet in 1991, my mom gave me a little article out of Reader's Digest, and it said there's 2 types of business to run, a hunting business and a farming business. And the philosophy was take care of your customers, be fair, do the right thing, and they'll tell other people, and they'll tell other people. And so that's kind of the philosophy we took. You know, I grew up in a house with 8 siblings, my mom and dad, and we had 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom, so I'm used to not worrying about not having anything you need. We always had what we needed, but we never worried about what we didn't have. You know, we just had what we needed, and I feel that way now. I got out of high school, I was an iron worker. I did that for a little over 5 years, and when I got into the car business by accident, I really enjoyed it, and I'm still making a little bit more than when I was an iron worker, so if that ever changes, I told them I'm going to kick my card back up and go back to work tying rods and bolting steel and all that, so it's been a lot of fun.
Well, Terry, thank you for everything you do, and I know you wish the Chamber another 100 years of great success, and maybe cap it off with a little wish for Russ, Mary, and the whole crew at the Chamber, and the success they've had this past year and in future years.
Well, you know, it's just going to continue on, and with their guidance and their help, they're just going to lay it on to the next generation, and what they're doing is setting the stage for everybody, and they're just a great crew, great bunch of people, and they work from the heart. They want to do the right thing, and they do it.
Well, thank you very much, Terry, and thank you for sponsoring tonight's event. It's fantastic of you.
You're welcome.
Well, Mary?
Yes?
What do you think?
It far surpassed my expectations. How about you, Don?
Hey, I'm having a great time. I think everybody in attendance is just so happy for the Chamber.
Yeah.
100 years. Russ Linkard, you, the whole staff, thank you so much for what you do for our community, and you just made a wonderful night for everyone.
It's my pleasure, and it made me so happy to see everybody having so much fun and being with each other and such a great environment. And thank you for all the great work you did. Look at all we created here.
Well, we did a little bit of a park on a street in downtown Joliet.
We wanted different, and we sure got it.
And I think everybody's having a great time. And Mary, again, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you to Russ. And what do you got to say for next year? The first year of the next 100.
Someone called next year the Dalmatian year, 101. They said, you have to do this. It'll be the Dalmatian year. I'm like, oh, I don't know. What do you think? You're the chairman. What do you think?
Well, we'll figure this one out.
Yes,
Yeah.
we'll talk.
Yeah. Thank you again.
You're welcome. Thank you, Don.